Today we are going to study the C13 NMR spectroscopy. C13 NMR spectroscopy, C13 it will be the isotope of carbon atom. Okay, so carbon spectra can be used to determine the number of non-equivalent carbon and identify the types of carbon atoms. Types of carbon atoms mean the methyl carbon, methylic carbon, aromatic carbon, carbonyl carbons, or any carbons. Which carbon atoms present in the unknown compound. तुमचा नॉन कंपाउंड असू द्या, अननोन कंपाउंड असू द्या, त्या ॲटम्समध्ये जे काही कार्बन ॲटम्स प्रेझेंट आहेत त्या कार्बन ॲटम्सची इन्फॉर्मेशन तुम्हाला C13 NMR स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपीमधून भेटते. Thus carbon NMR provides the direct information about the carbon skeleton. Okay, it will give the direct information about carbon, only about carbon, not the hydrogen. In H1 NMR spectroscopy we can give the direct information about the hydrogen. From given hydrogen information we can calculate structure about the carbon, but in carbon NMR spectroscopy we can give the direct information about the carbon skeleton of a molecule. Some of the principles of proton NMR apply to study the carbon NMR. However, structural determination is generally easier with carbon 13 NMR spectroscopy. या कार्बन NMR स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपीमुळे तुमचं स्ट्रक्चरल डिटर्मिनेशन करणं हे खूप जास्त इझी झाले. बाय युजिंग द बोथ टेक्निक्स वी कॅन यूज टू डिटरमाइन द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ unknown compound. Both techniques means the H1 NMR spectroscopy and C13 NMR spectroscopy. Both techniques can use for the determination of the unknown compound. The carbon 13 nucleus. Carbon 13 nucleus means the isotope of carbon. So carbon 12 it will be also isotope of carbon, but carbon 12 it is the most abundant isotope of carbon in nature. It will be presence of C12 isotope of carbon, it will be presence in major form, but C13 it will be in the minor form. But C12 it will be the NMR inactive molecule. Due to spin will be C12 molecule will be 0. त्याची स्पिन 0 असल्यामुळे तो NMR इनॅक्टिव्ह आहे. सो C12 मॉलिक्यूलचा तुम्ही NMR स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपी ही काढू शकत नाही. बट फॉर C13 मॉलिक्यूल mass will be the odd mass. Okay, so nuclear spin will be the 1/2. So nuclear spin will be the 1/2. So we can easily calculate the NMR. It will be the NMR active molecule. We can easily calculate the NMR spectroscopy for C13 isotope of carbon. First, the natural abundance of C13 molecule will be the very low. That will be the 1.08 or 1.1 something. Okay, according to the all carbon atoms, that will be the like a carbon 12 isotope. Okay, if total number of carbons in molecule is low, it is the very likely that the majority of molecules in sample will have the no carbon 13 nuclei at all. In molecule containing the C13 isotope, it will be unlikely that second atom in the same molecule will be the C13 atom. What is the difference between the CMR and PMR? PMR means the H1 NMR spectroscopy. So difference between the CMR and PMR spectroscopy. What will be the difference? Okay, proton is a major isotope of hydrogen. That will be the natural abundance will be the 99.9% in the nature. While C13 it will be the minor isotope. Natural abundance will be the 1.1 or 1.08% in the nature. In PMR spectroscopy, it will be the quantitative determination. There are under the peak test the number of hydrogen nuclei. In PMR spectroscopy, we can calculate the number of hydrogens, but in C13 NMR spectroscopy, we can give the strong or weak peak for the only C13 nuclei. Proton that interact into the magnetic field to reveal the connectivity of structure. Okay, when magnetic field will be applied, proton can be easily attracted towards the magnetic field and it will also appear the connectivity of structure. But C13 will be the rare or natural abundance will be the low. So it will be coupling between the C13 nuclei will be seen, it will be rare. Okay, PMR shifts the more reliable indication of the local chemistry than given by the CMR spectra. Chemical shift values for the carbon 13 nuclei. Okay, C13 nuclei मध्ये तुम्ही स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपिक व्हॅल्यू काढता किंवा केमिकल शिफ्ट व्हॅल्यू काढता, त्या स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपीच्या व्हॅल्यूज तुम्हाला अराउंड कोणत्या रेंजमध्ये पाहायला मिळतात. दॅट विल बी द गिवन. त्या व्हॅल्यूज थोड्याशा तुम्हाला गिवन आहेत की असा मॉलिक्यूल्स असेल तर या रेंजमध्ये तुम्हाला व्हॅल्यूज या भेटू शकतात. ओके, कारण प्रत्येक मॉलिक्यूल्सच्या व्हॅल्यूज आपल्याला एक्झॅक्टली जर डिटरमाइन करायचे असतील तर त्या व्हॅल्यूज आपल्याला अगोदर माहिती असायला हव्यात की या रेंजमध्ये या व्हॅल्यूज येऊ शकतात. आपल्याला स्ट्रक्चर्स असाइन करायचे आहेत तर त्या स्ट्रक्चरमध्ये या रेंजमध्ये या व्हॅल्यू दाखवू शकतात, त्याच्यावरून तुम्ही स्ट्रक्चर हे असाइन करू शकता. ओके. C13 chemical ship listed in the parts per million. Okay, that will be the unit for chemical ship value, which is a ppm, which is also used for the H1 NMR spectroscopy. Okay, from TMS, tetramethylsilane. Tetramethylsilane, it will be the reference solvent used for the C13 NMR spectroscopy. Okay, the carbon of the methyl groups in TMS, not the hydrogen, are used for the as a reference solvent. Approximate C13 chemical shift value ranges in between the 0 to 220 ppm. कार्बन 13च्या केमिकल शिफ्ट व्हॅल्यू तुम्हाला कोणत्या रेंजमध्ये पाहायला मिळतात? 0 to 220 ppm मध्ये. आणि H1 NMR स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपीच्या व्हॅल्यू तुम्हाला कोणत्या रेंजमध्ये पाहायला मिळत होत्या? 0 to 12 ppm. Means C13 chemical shift value will be highest in range compared to H1 NMR spectroscopy. Okay. So in next chart, the values of some carbon compounds will be given. So for the primary carbon, secondary carbon and tertiary carbon, values around 0 to 60 ppm. When electronegative group like halogens, nitrogens, oxygens are attached to the carbon, when electronegative group attached to the carbon, electronegative group will increases the deshielding nature of carbon. So due to increase in deshielding nature, chemical shift value of carbon will be increases. If shielding nature on carbon will be increases, chemical shift value will be decreases, and electronegative group increases the deshielding nature on carbon. Okay, so electronegative group जर attach असेल तर तुमची chemical shift value ही obvious increase होणार आहे. Next values will be given for the sp2, sp3 and sp carbon atoms. Okay, for the sp2 and sp3 values around the 65 to 150 ppm. Okay, when carbon will attach to nitrogen, that one will be the triple bonded nitrogen, which means the sp hybridization. So values of for the sp hybridization will be given 110 to 140 ppm. Value for the sp2 carbon, which is a in benzene ring, sp2 carbon in the benzene ring, values around the 110 to 175. Next, values for the carbonyl compound. Carbonyl compound means first value will be ester and acid. In ester and acid, there will be the two oxygens or two electronegative groups attached to the carbonyl carbon. Carbonyl carbon ला तुमचे दोन electronegative group attach आहेत. That one will be the oxygen. So values will around the 155 to 185. Next will be the amide. In this compound also two electronegative groups are attached to carbonyl carbon. First one will be the oxygen, which is a double bonded, and second one will be the nitrogen, which is a single bonded. So values around the 155 to 185. Next carbonyl compound will be the ketone and aldehyde. In ketone and aldehyde, only one electronegative group will be attached and electron donating groups are attached into the ketone and aldehyde. So values of ketone and aldehydic carbon will be around 185 to 220 ppm. Okay. So next chart will be given for the values for the primary, secondary, tertiary and quaternary carbon. So up to primary, tertiary, secondary and quaternary carbon. Primary carbon will be give 0 to 40, secondary 10 to 15, tertiary 15 to 50 and quaternary 30 to 40. Means quaternary carbon gives the highest chemical shift value compared to primary, secondary and tertiary, and primary gives the lowest chemical shift value compared to secondary, tertiary and quaternary. Next one will be the alkyl halide or alcohols. In alkyl halides, amines and alcohols, electronegative group attached to the carbon. So due to electronegativity, chemical shift value around the 60 to 100. या रेंज मध्ये तुम्हाला chemical shift value भेटतात. For the sp3 and sp2, for sp3 it will be around 60 to 92 and sp2 it will be around 100 and 150. For aryl means sp2 carbon 100 and 170. Nitriles, carbon and nitrogen triple bond, it will be 120 to 130. For amides or for the carbonyl compound च्या value या तुम्हाला 150 to 220. या रेंजमध्येच पाहायला मिळतात. कार्बोनिल कंपाऊंड्स मीन्स अमाइड्स, कीटोन्स, अल्डेहाइड्स, ॲसिड्स, इस्टर्स, that will shows the values around 150 to 220 ppm. Okay, this chart will give the comparison between the carbonyl compound, sp2 hybridizer, carbon, ring carbon, then electronegative group attached to the carbon, primary carbon and secondary carbon. Okay, that will show the difference between the chemical shift values of different compounds. Next one will the factors affecting the chemical shift value of C13 NMR spectroscopy. So which factor will affect on the chemical shift value of C13 spectroscopy? So first one will be the electronegativity, second one will be the hybridization, third one will be the anisotropic effect. All these factors can affect the chemical shift value of C13 NMR spectroscopy. Okay, so these factors it will also affect in the H1 NMR spectroscopy. हेच फॅक्टर्स तुम्ही H1 NMR स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपीमध्येही पाहिलेत. हेच फॅक्टर तुमचे H1 NMR स्पेक्ट्रोस्कोपीच्या केमिकल शिफ्ट व्हॅल्यूवरही अफेक्ट करतात. ओके, सो फर्स्ट फॅक्टर आपण स्टडी करूयात, विच वन विल बी द इलेक्ट्रोनिगेटिव्हिटी ग्रुप. When electronegativity group will be increases, it will produce the de-shielding effect on the carbon. It will produce the de-shielding effect on the carbon. In NMR spectroscopy, when de-shielding effect will be increases, downfield effect will be increases. Downfield effect increases means chemical shift value will be increases. Okay, due to de-shielding nature or due to electronegativity of group, de-shielding nature increases, compound or carbon value will be go downfield shift. Downfield shift means the chemical shift value will be increases. Okay, so same electronegative group also affect on the H1 NMR spectroscopy. Okay, the shift is greater for a carbon 13 atom than for a proton, since the electronegative atom is directly attached to the carbon atom. Compared to C13 NMR spectroscopy and H1 NMR spectroscopy, if electronegative group is attached to the carbon, in this compound electronegative group directly attached to the carbon, but in H1 NMR spectroscopy electronegative group is directly not attached to the hydrogen. So electronegative group is directly affect on the carbon, not on the hydrogen. तो कार्बनवर जेवढा इफेक्ट करतो किंवा कार्बनसोबत जेवढं डिशिल्डिंग नेचर दाखवतो तेवढं तो हायड्रोजनसोबत डिशिल्डिंग नेचर दाखवत नाही. सो इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव्ह ग्रुप इट मोस्टली अफेक्ट ऑन द कार्बन ॲटम विच इज डिरेक्टली अटॅच टू द इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव्ह ग्रुप. ज्या इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव्हला ग्रुप जो कार्बन डिरेक्टली अटॅच असेल त्यावरच डिशिल्डिंग नेचर हे जास्त दाखवतं. बाकी ग्रुप्सवर किंवा बाकी ॲटम्सवर डिशिल्डिंग नेचर हे जास्त दाखवत नाही. जशी जशी तुमची चेन इन्क्रीज होत जाते त्यानुसार तुमच्या डिशिल्डिंग नेचर हे डिक्रीज होत जातं. ओके, CX बॉन्ड म्हणजे कोणताही तुमचा हॅलोजन्स असेल किंवा इलेक्ट्रोनेगेटिव्ह ॲटम्स असेल लाईक ऑक्सिजन, नायट्रोजन. X means the any electronegative atoms. Okay, so electronegative atoms are attached to the carbons, not to the hydrogen. Okay, so it will affect occurs only the two bonds. Electronegative atoms it will attach only to the carbon, not to the hydrogen. So according in H1 NMR spectroscopy it will be the two bonded effect, but in H1 NMR spectroscopy it will be one bonded effect. So in C13 NMR spectroscopy chemical shift value will be highly increases due to attachment of electronegative group. It will be directly carbon atom, not directly to the hydrogen atom. Okay, in H1 NMR spectroscopy effect of the electronegative group on chemical shift it will be the diminished with the distance. It will be different according to the distance, but it is always in same direction. सेम डायरेक्शन ला ते डिशिल्डिंग नेचर म्हणजे डाउनफिल्ड नेचर हे दाखवतात. इन दिस गिवन कंपाउंड OH it will be the electronegative group. when OH will attach to the alpha carbon ला तुमचा OH group attach आहे. so this OH can give the electronegative effect or deshielding effect. due to deshielding nature of oxygen, alpha carbon chemical shift value will be increases. That one will be the 61.9. but when chain increases the shielding effect will be decreases. so up to alpha, beta, gamma, delta chemical shift value will be goes decreasing. okay, from beta to beta chemical shift value will be goes decreasing due to deshielding nature will be decreases. Next compound Electronegative groups. Which electronegative group attached to CH3? First one will be the fluorine, second one will be the OH, third one will be the NH2, and fourth one will be the hydrogen. According to the electronegativity of group, de-shielding nature will be increasing or decreasing. Electronegativity of group increases, de-shielding nature also increases. If electronegativity of group decreases, de-shielding nature will be also decreases. In these given compounds, fluorine will be most electronegative compared to OH. OH will be most electronegative compared to NH, and NH will be the most electronegative compared to the hydrogen. So in this given compound, fluorine will be the most electronegative and hydrogen will be the most electropositive. So according to electronegativity, fluorine will shows the more de-shielding nature. So due to more de-shielding nature, it will shows the highest chemical shift value compared to hydrogen. So from fluorine to hydrogen, electronegativity or minus I effect will goes in decreasing order, and electron density is goes on increasing order, or electron density will be increases. So from fluorine to hydrogen, shielding effect will be increases and de-shielding effect will be decreases. So de-shielding effect increases or de-shielding effect decreases, delta value will be in decreasing order. डिशिल्डिंग नेचर डिक्रीज झालं तर तुमचे डेल्टा व्हॅल्यू पण डिक्रीज होते. सो फ्रॉम फ्लोरीन टू हायड्रोजन, डेल्टा व्हॅल्यू विल बी decreases. For fluorine, delta value will be 75, and for hydrogen, delta value will be -2. Okay, next example. In given example, fluorine will be the electronegative atom. Fluorine is attached to carbon. This carbon will show the more de-shielded nature due to electronegativity of fluorine. So due to more de-shielding nature, delta value will be increases. So delta value will be 45 ppm for fluorine attached to carbon, and delta value will be goes decreasing from 45 to 14. 45 to 14 तुमची डेल्टा वैल्यू ही डिक्रीज होती है ड्यू टू डिक्रीज इन डिशील्डिंग नेचर. Okay, next one will be the problems are given. So like these problems are asked in the exam. The C13 spectrum for the 1 bromo 3 chloro propane contains a peak at delta 30 to 35 and 43. Assign the signals for the appropriate carbon. तुम्हाला कंपाऊंड स्ट्रक्चर नॉमेनक्लेचर दिलं आहे, त्यावरून तुम्ही स्ट्रक्चर काढायचे. त्या स्ट्रक्चर्समध्ये तुम्हाला सिग्नल्स दिलेत 30, 35 अँड 43. ते सिग्नल्स त्याचे असाइन करायचे. सो स्ट्रक्चर तुमचं काय आहे, 1 ब्रोमो अँड 3 क्लोरो. So 2 electronegative groups are attached in this chain. One will be the bromo and second one will be the chloro. So in between bromine and chlorine, chlorine will be the most electronegative element compared to the bromine. So due to more electronegativity of chlorine, so carbon which is attached to chlorine, it will show the more de-shielding nature. Okay, so delta value will be increases. So chlorine ज्या कार्बनला अटॅच आहे त्याची डेल्टा व्हॅल्यू ही ऑब्वियसली इंक्रीज होईल. सो दॅट will be the 43. Then delta value will be bromine attached to carbon, so that one will be the 35. And next carbon which is the lowest, which is not directly attached to the any electronegative group. Okay, so that one will be the lowest value, which is a 30. Next compound, nitro group attached to the sp2 carbon. When nitro group, it will attach to sp2 carbon. Nitro group, it will also electron withdrawing group. When it will attach to the any sp2 carbon, sp2 carbon shows the highly de-shielded nature due to resonating structure. Okay, due to resonance of NO2, it will shows the highly de-shielded nature. Due to highly de-shielded nature, chemical shift value of carbon will be increases due to electron withdrawing nature of nitro group. So नायट्रो ग्रुप ज्या कार्बनला अटॅच आहे त्याची व्हॅल्यू ही हायली डिशेल्डेड असेल, म्हणजे हायली इंक्रीज झालेली असेल. दॅट वन विल बी द 145 ppm. Second one will be the hybridization effect. We know the hybridization means the sp hybridization, sp2 hybridization and sp3 hybridization. For sp hybridization, electron density will be decreases. sp हायब्रिडायझेशन म्हणजे ऑब्वियस इलेक्ट्रॉन डेन्सिटी तुमची डिक्रीज झालेली आहे, बट इन sp3 हायब्रिडायझेशन इलेक्ट्रॉन डेन्सिटी विल बी इंक्रीजेस. सो इलेक्ट्रॉन डेन्सिटी increases, shielding nature will be increases, but in sp hybridization electron density will be increases. So electron density will be decreases, shielding nature will be decreases, and de-shielding nature will be increases. So for the sp hybridization, if de-shielding nature increases, chemical shift value will be increases. For sp3 hybridization, if shielding increases and de-shielding decreases, chemical shift value will be in decreases. Okay, so from sp to sp3 hybridization, electronegativity will be decreases, so shielding nature will be increases. So due to shielding nature increases, delta value will be decreases. So for sp3 hybridization, chemical shift value will be highest, and for sp3 hybridization, chemical shift value will be lowest, and for sp2 hybridization, chemical shift value it will be middle between sp3 and sp carbon atoms. Next effect will be the alpha, beta and gamma effect in alkanes. Okay, in C13 chemical shift are significantly affect the presence of number of substituent at the alpha, beta and gamma position with respect to the number of carbon atoms. जसे तुमची कार्बन ॲटम्सची चेन आहे किंवा तुमचा सायक्लिक कंपाऊंड असेल, त्या सायक्लिक कंपाऊंडमध्ये तुमच्या अल्फा, बीटा, गॅमा या पोझिशनला जर काही बाकी ग्रुप्स तुमचे प्रेझेंट असतील तर ते ग्रुप्स तुमच्या केमिकल शिफ्ट व्हॅल्यूवर अफेक्ट करतात. ते ग्रुप्स तुमच्या केमिकल शिफ्ट व्हॅल्यू ही इंक्रीज किंवा डिक्रीज करतात. Thus, there is a increase in chemical shift on going from the primary to secondary. Primary to secondary chemical shift value increases. Secondary to tertiary also chemical shift value increases. And tertiary to quaternary carbon also chemical shift value will be increases. Okay. So quaternary carbon will show the highest chemical shift value compared to primary, secondary and tertiary. And primary carbon will be the lowest chemical shift value compared to the quaternary, tertiary and secondary carbon atom. So in given structure, quaternary carbon will give the highest chemical shift value. It will be around 28.1 ppm. For secondary carbon, it will be the 25.4 ppm. Compared to quaternary, it will be the lowest. Then primary it will shows the 5.7 to 2.5 ppm. So primary will shows the lowest chemical shift value compared to the quaternary, and quaternary shows the highest chemical shift value compared to the primary.